How are you?
I'm grateful. I'm really, really happy.
You look absolutely stunning.
Thank you so much.
The BAFTA goes so well with the dress. Tell us first of all about Rita and why you love her so much, because hearing you talk about her, you do love her so much.
Rita, to me, felt familiar. I know so many women, and I add myself to that list of women that feel overworked and overlooked and are still big dreamers of their own goals, and they're often not given the credit that they deserve, and they're smart, and they're meant to be successful, and yet they aren't, and it's not within their control, and I didn't want to get in my own way. I wanted to allow those things that were familiar of Rita to make, to open me up, because as a woman that I work really hard, and I have dreams of my own, and I want to be able to be the best mom and the best wife, the best daughter, but also the best artist that I can be. There have been moments in which I've felt all of those things that Rita goes through. So Rita required a lot of vulnerability from me, and I felt exposed in so many ways, but I knew that so many women were going to find themselves seen in Rita, and that's why she became such a special character for me.
And audience reactions have been extraordinary to this character, as you say. Why do you think that it has resonated so much with critics and audiences alike, who are sometimes split on these things?
I think Jacques said something really beautiful in his speech, and I'm not going to repeat it verbatim, but it's along the lines of just breaking the conventional norms of whatever manual we give ourselves into doing something. We always want to believe that we have to follow everything in order, that a story needs to have some kind of linear and formulaic sort of structure, and sometimes breaking all that mold and defying categorization, a story is able to live freely in that, and Jacques did just that, and I really do believe, at least that's what attracted me the most to Emilia, and the more and more I kept talking to not just audiences, but also critics and members of all organizations, that's what resonated also with them. So in a way, it made me feel really connected in terms of the fact that we love storytelling, and sometimes we just wish that we weren't so contrived to only do things in a traditional way.
El Mal is such an extraordinary song, it's such an extraordinary scene in the film. So tell us what really challenged you and what you loved the most about filming that sequence.
I keep repeating this, not getting in my own way was the challenge. Sometimes you can become very heady about something and you overthink something. And what you have to do is you just have to trust the process. If you really do the work, and Rita required some digging, some sensory, work in terms of revisiting things about my past, about my culture, about women, and rehearsing the dance was about reconnecting with a part of me that I missed so much, but I had since let go of for over 20 years. So reconnecting with that, dusting off all those cobwebs, and just jumping into the unknown was what needed to happen in order for El Mal to be what it is today.
And why is it so important for you that it was in Spanish?
It's my first language. It's I've said this. It's the language that I was spoken to first. I was sung to first. To go to sleep. My mom cooks in Spanish. We love, we live, we fight, we work in Spanish. And my art has only lived in a very English way, and so that yearning to connect my culture with my art was just meaningful for me.
Can you tell us about working with Jacques Audiard and why he's such an extraordinary director and how he brought out the best in you as well?
Jacques is an incredibly sensitive person, and he is very, socially he's very shy, which is why he may come off as someone that his jokes may go over so many people's heads, but in reality his heart is always in the right place, and his heart is always in the best place. And he's not defied by the gravity of language or cinematic structure and how to tell a story. Like, he breaks all those molds so that he can connect through stories with other people, and that's what I love the most about him.
Thank you. Does anybody here have a question?
Zoe, I would like to ask you in Spanish, español.
Sí.
Primeramente, felicidades.
Muchas gracias.
Un orgullo latino, obviamente. ¿Qué significa para ti? ¿A quién le dedicas este premio? ¿Y qué te gustaría decirle a todo el público de México? A la gente que habla español también.
A las personas que de México y también del mundo que de verdad vieron la historia y les conmovió de una manera positiva y los inspiró, le doy las gracias. A todas las personas que se sintieron representadas, principalmente la comunidad trans y las mujeres que viven marginalizadas día a día, me doy las gracias, porque en realidad esta historia se hizo con todo el corazón, y eso es lo único que yo puedo hablar. Yo puedo compartir mi experiencia, porque fue una experiencia de amor, de colaboración, de respeto, y no puedo hablar de otra cosa, porque no sería la verdad mía, y tengo el deseo de que eso sea lo que al final las personas puedan recordar a Emilia por eso.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias a usted.
Yes. Hi. Got a microphone.
Hi.
Ciao Zoe, hi, I'm Ambra from The Upcoming. I saw you in Cannes during Women in Motion, and you were talking about your vulnerability and about you not feeling comfortable still like in your roles and wanting to explore new things. And I wonder, and how controversial was Emilia Perez, which just came out, and then now you won everything basically. I was wondering, like, has this changed, your perspective on your career or what you want to achieve, and how do you feel, and what do you want to say to women to believe in themselves?
No, it's okay. How do I feel? I feel that following your heart can never be wrong. If your heart is always in a good place, if you believe in what you do and you believe in your values, then follow it. And all you can do, because then you will always stand by that. And that can never be judged as right or wrong. I think as women, sometimes we are told what is the best thing for us, when in reality we have a gut, we have an instinct that if we ignore, that's when really things go awry for us. And I think it's important for women to reconnect with your inner voice. This film, this story, all of these female characters, I know for a fact that we all made it so that we can give visibility to so many women that every day go by marginalized and completely invisible of a mainstream narrative. And so this is for them. And I'm so proud of Emilia, and I join the voices of my entire team of Emilia Pérez. I would do this movie over and over again with an open heart, over and over again.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Selena Boyd from Coco magazine, a magazine that showcases role models just like you, and it's for little girls from age 7 to 11. What would you say to your 10-year-old younger self?
That it gets better, that you matter, and that your instincts are right, and trust yourself more. That's what I would say.
Thank you.
This is so great. Like in America, I only get asked 2 questions.
Hi Zoe, I'm Max. Congratulations.
Thank
it's
you so
lovely
much.
to have you here in London. I have to say, watching award season this year has felt so different for me, especially with the women. You, Demi, Ariana, Cynthia, Selena, all of you. It's felt like a bit of a revolution, and the women coming together and spending time together. Often we're pitted against each other. I know that as a journalist. How has that felt? And what have those conversations away from the camera been like between all of you?
For me, I'm one of 3 sisters. I come from a very matriarchal family. It feels like being home. Women, the only women I've ever known, the only women I've ever surrounded myself with are women that celebrate each other, that have each other's back. We are loyal. Loyalty is never about being righteous or being right or wrong. It's about, it's about doing the deed first and then asking questions later. That's what loyalty is about. And I do believe in the sisterhood of women. So I'm always going to lead with my heart when it comes to women. It has been disheartening and quite isolating for many, many years when we don't play together. And now more than ever, I love the fact that we are beginning to see this. We are becoming less and less afraid of any kind of retaliation or repercussions that may come from us being united. And what is the word that I always say? When women come together, they used to call it like, oh, witches are coming together and we're creating a what? Like we're
Coven.
I like to call it a congregation. We're congregating all the time. Not only are we learning how to age with grace, we're also saving our younger girls from making mistakes that maybe we made, that we wish we would have had more guidance from other women when we were younger. So I think it's really important for us to come together. And it's much more important, I think, for women to come together behind the scenes, above the lines, as producers and writers and directors. I do believe that that's where the true power lies. By the time it comes down to us actors, we're just grateful to be given a job, whether we're men, women, trans lives, it doesn't matter. We're just grateful to be working. But the leaders, the gatekeepers are the ones that need to be more diverse, and they need to have more women there. That's what's important.
Bravo, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zoe Saldana.
Oh, and I want to say one last thing that I didn't get to say on stage. I'm dedicating all of these awards and the fellow Emilia Perez to my nephew, Eli, he is the reason, they are the reason I signed up to do this film in the first place. So as a proud aunt of a trans life, I will always stand with my community of trans people. Thank you so much.
Thank you.